Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The people of Ghana went to the polls last weekend, and they've just elected the man who had led the country 8 years ago. And the ruling party that has been ruling the last 8 years candidate has accepted the results and congratulated the winner. A clear demonstration that democracy and free, fair, and credible elections are possible in Africa. Even a comeback. Ghana is one of the few countries in Africa that has enjoyed political stability based on good governance, free, fair, and credible elections. We cannot escape that the problem in Zimbabwe is because of our failure to govern ourselves. Welcome to the program, Benjamin.
Thank you. Good day to you and good day to all viewers. First of all, I would like to say congratulations to the people of Ghana for
Not sure what is happening there, Ben. We can't hear you. Okay, sorry, while Ben is sorting out his problem, we'll just continue. Ghana has enjoyed political stability, free, fair, and credible elections. And it is probably this firm belief that even if you lose the elections, you can still come back. That is at the heart of the belief in good governance, free, fair, and credible elections. If you do not hold that belief, you honestly feel that if you lose power, your opponent will dig in, create a de facto one-party state, then you have got a problem. Even if you get into power, you're tempted to dig in to create a de facto one-party state because this could be the last time you get into power. And I think this is at the heart of regimes, parties like Zanu PF. Ever since the country's independence in 1980, Zanu PF has considered it their divine right to rule the country. And they've shown that they will not only rig the elections, cheat, but they will even kill to stay in power. The tragedy is, of course, that once they've created a de facto one-party state and it fails, then you've got a serious problem because the nation is then stuck with the regime. Ben, I don't know whether you've sorted out your problem.
sorry about the technical glitch that I was having. So I was saying, a big congratulations to the people of Ghana for holding a peaceful and, transparent election, and back to Zimbabwe, I must say, of all, if you look at our election process, it has always lacked traceability. It has always, shown, people being forced, to vote where, they do not choose for themselves. We have seen, people getting bussed, you know, around to go and vote. Even just the voters roll itself is a mess. As Tim Pachedu even, showed us how, you know, how a shamble it is. We have to realize, and Zimbabwe has to realize that without all these things being fixed, there is absolutely no way of ever getting, a democratic result. Impossible. So we may say other countries are doing it. Ghana has done it. Botswana has done the same. South Africa, they had elections and we saw the process and it could be traced. Where are they now? Going along the process until they finally announce the winner. You could trace it even if you were not there. That is a democratic process. Zimbabwe has failed to do that. So we can never think we can ever get to these, countries, or to copy these countries all of a sudden without fixing certain things or face certain issues. We have to fix, we have to get dirty and fix those things first. And I always, like to refer back to the reports that came out from various electoral missions that came to see Zimbabwe. They said the same very thing. It was a process that you could not make heads or tails, if I'm to make it, short and sweet. You could not trace. It was a mess. So we can try all means and say we can win rigged elections or we can plug them or however. It will not work until we get dirty, get down to fix it.
I was just showing there the map of Africa. As you can see, the countries that have some semblance of democratic elections in the Southern Africa region, Botswana, South Africa are doing very well. And Namibia is doing pretty good. Mauritius is probably the leading with on the index 8.14, whereas Ghana in West Africa is doing very well with 6.43. And Ghana has had consistent, free, fair, and credible elections. And it has enjoyed political stability for a long time. In West Africa, there's no doubt that Ghana has done very well economically. And if you were to look at the GDP per capita, it reflects the same issues. Those countries that have got political stability, good governance, they are doing very well economically too. We cannot pretend that there is somehow a democracy for Africa and a democracy for the rest of the world. There's no such thing. Good governance, free, fair, and credible elections, all they are saying is you've got to give people a meaningful say in the governance of the country. And when you have failed, you have failed. You've got to accept that you have failed. And in this particular case, when you've got a regime like ZANU-PF that does not accept that they've failed, then you are in serious trouble. And that is why we are in serious trouble. We have a regime that has rigged elections for the last 44 years. And hence we are stuck with a corrupt, incompetent, and tyrannical regime that will not accept that they have failed. ZANU-PF believes they have the divine right to rule the country. We have got to address that problem.
You know, I was talking about getting to the dirty work. You know, I want to, on the map, if you could show it again, I want to draw your attention to Libya. Libya was ruled by a dictator, Muammar Gaddafi. And when he was ousted, instead of fixing a terrible system, they kept it as is. And nothing has changed. Just like Zimbabwe, we were ruled for 37 years by Robert Mugabe. We ousted him, but we never got dirty to fix a system that was broken. And what did we do? We went and replaced a dictator for another. See, we cannot just wish it away. It just will not just happen overnight. We have to get dirty. We have to demand reform. ZANU-PF is never going to reform itself out of power. And I've heard you say this a lot of times. And that is true. The people have to demand. And without that, you know, I don't see us getting out of this mess. It is just wishful thinking.
Yes, I think Zimbabwe's political problem has been compounded by having the ruling party, like I said, that believe that they've got the divine right to rule. But we cannot deny that the last 44 years, the country has had many opportunities to end this ZANU-PF dictatorship. The best of which was during the 2008 to 2013 GNU. MDC, Triple C, we've been the main opposition for the last 24 years, had the golden opportunity to implement reforms. They failed to implement even one token reform because ZANU-PF, Robert Mugabe, bribed them with the trappings of high office, and they forgot about the reforms. So our political problem, has been compounded by having a corrupt and incompetent opposition. And the situation has been made even worse by having an electorate that has failed to see what is going on. It is unbelievable that 24 years, even after 24 years of MDC Triple C, and not even a token reform implemented, the people still believe that MDC Triple C are going to dig them out of this hole. Recently, we've been having problems with people even accepting that Chamisa lied to them. There are some people who still do not want to believe. They have got this fixation with opposition. They believe the leaders to the point where they have become blinded. If you cannot believe that Chamisa lied and yet accept that ZANU-PF rigged the elections, then you've got a serious problem. Chamisa did lie when he said he had plugged the vote rigging loopholes to stop ZANU-PF rigging the elections. And you cannot accept that out of your personality cult mentality. Democracy requires that the people should be educated, knowledgeable, objective, and diligent. The Zimbabwe electorate is far from it. And this is why we are in this mess. I would like to close by saying that congratulations to Ghana and the people of Ghana. And thank you very much to the people of Ghana for showing that we can, in Africa, have democracy, free, fair, and credible elections, and a vision of accepting that when you are in power, if you fail, you've got to accept the people's verdict.
I, in closing, would like to say, I think you put it, very beautifully when you listed the things that are required of us. We cannot just expect things to fall into place, like I said, without us getting dirty, without getting to the nitty gritty of what needs us to move towards to a democratic nation. And the fundamental thing that I want to close saying is that we, as the people of Zimbabwe, we are required to be able to think for ourselves, think outside the box. Let us not just, be told something and run away with it. This is where our biggest problem is. And if we cannot see, after 44 years of this regime that has, brutalized our lives, and 24 years with a fake opposition, one that, is now worried mostly about lining their pockets than anything else. I just wonder how long will it take for individuals to actually see that we ourselves, our own worst enemy, we are perpetuating our own suffering by following these thugs, these thieves. We have to start thinking for ourselves, and we have to start demanding accountability, and there must be traceability within a process. Then we can start moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ben. And thank you very much for those who were able to join us tonight. We hope you'll be able to do it again, 6 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Zimbabwean time. Good night.